Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Jimmy from Primer It Is Best. And you wouldn't believe it, but less than an hour ago, it was pouring rain. I mean, just pouring. And I live here in East Tennessee. But for the moment, the sky's kind of broken up and the sun's peeking through. We need the rain, actually. I know it's, I don't ever say that very often, but actually we do. For the farmers and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just a good rain. It's not monsoon or nothing. Today's video, sorry, I get sidetracked easily, and I hope I have a good battery connection. I guess I've left my wrench and socket ratchet in the house. I thought I left it out here in this truck. It's a 85 C10 if you've never seen it before, and y'all, my YouTube subscribers, have named it Tyler because the man that used to own the truck laid tile. I've never met him, the man that used to own this truck. But it's always been in East Tennessee, and I haven't started it in a long time. Reason being, my mother-in-law, Mrs. P.I.B., my wife, her mother, had a massive stroke, and we've been spending all of our time at the nursing home and stuff, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm not going to get into all that. That's not what the video is about. But if you're wondering why I kind of stopped, that's why. So I'm hoping I got a decent battery connection, because I just kind of finger tightened the side post terminal. I hope I do. I was listening for the clock. The clock works, but it's always staying at 2 o'clock. The only thing that moves is the second hand. Okay, I don't know how hard this is going to be to start. You might want to get you some popcorn and something to drink. I don't know. I'm not really used to this truck at all. I haven't had it that long. So I'm going to give it some pumps, and I hope that it will start pretty quick. Hope I got a good battery connection, which I do so far. Come on, Tyler, you can do it. It's been weeks and weeks since I've started this truck, so just kind of bear with me for just a moment. It's a 305 with a 350 turbo, I think. You know, it's been so long, I forgot. What about that? There's a lot of dampness in here and the belt's squeaking. It'll die down in just a second. Well, that's pretty good, wouldn't it? I was expecting it to be a whole lot harder to start than what it was. It's got dual tanks on it, but I've only filled up one side, and I'll say this one more time. I mean, again, just in case you're a new person. I bought this truck from a friend of mine, and he bought it from the guy that laid tile. The guy that laid tile, the older gentleman, was trying to retire, but everybody kept calling him to come lay tile. So I guess he has a hard time saying no to people. So he sold the truck to my friend. He said, if I don't have a truck, I can't go lay tile. So, I mean, bless his heart, he must have a gentle heart, you know, has a hard time saying no. So my friend had it, and he had it for, I don't know, several months, maybe 8 months, a year, I don't know. And he just drove it a half mile from where he lives to where he works. That's all it got driven, half mile. So, I mean, you could walk to work, but he drove the truck, I guess, because of weather and whatnot. I'm letting it warm up for just a minute. Anyway, I knew he had this truck, so I wound up buying the truck from him. He didn't really want to sell it. And I'll be honest with you. I had to talk him into it, and I'll tell you something else. I give too much for the truck. I'm just tell you right up front. I gave too much for the truck, but it's a 85 Silverado, square body, short bed factory truck, factory air. The air did work. I had my friend that owned the truck, you know, drove it half a mile. He fixed the air, but I must have a massive leak somewhere in the AC because it doesn't cool anymore. The AM FM radio factory works. Well, it did. I'm sorry, the light would come on, I'm sorry. And it's still, there's the light, but there's no sound. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm going to take this truck to my friend on YouTube. Please sure to check out his YouTube channel. His name is GM1038. So I'm going to try to back this up and talk to y'all at the same time, which I'm not I'm not used to doing two things at the same time. This garage is small, and it's small because I'm a pack rat, parts hoarder, and that brake's going to grab a little bit, I'm afraid. Well, all I'm going to do is sit it out here for just a minute. Brakes are kind of touchy. It's got a tilt column. It's a Silverado. I mean, it's an old truck, 85 model. I'm just going to let it sit here for just a minute and run. I think I got a exhaust valve cover that is leaking. There's a little bit of smoke. Show you the truck. Well, show you the truck first. Yeah, I got a little bit of an oil leak around the valve cover. It's hitting the exhaust manifold. I'll have to address that. Real quiet, it's all stopped. 305. When I first got the truck, I thought it was a 350, but it is not. It's factory silver. I believe it's been painted once before. And it's got brand new dual exhaust, new battery, new wiper, blades. Power windows work. They're a little slow. I got some new motors, power window motors for it. Like I said, it's been several weeks since I've even started it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Got me a spare tire. If you watch my older videos, just type in Primer Is Best 1985 Chevy C10 truck, Tyler, and had this tire put on this spare rim. I painted all this. I didn't do a good job. It's going to be under the truck for a spare. It holds air, but it's not much to think of or speak of, but better than what it was. I got me a sport bumper right here for the back. I'm going to take this off. I've got new taillights already put on it. Got my jack. Got my bumper guards I'm going to put on it. We painted this emblem here. I didn't know what color it's supposed to be. So we just made up a color, and this is what we done. I'm trying to refresh your memory to an older subscriber to me, what all we've done. Painted all this in here. Doesn't have to be perfect on my channel. Primer Is Best is all about making do with what you have. So that's what we do. Painted all this silver. Kind of make it pop, as I like to say on this channel. All this. And I'm thinking, I don't know, that pinstripe that used to be here, it looks like it used to be red. Like I said, new dual exhaust. What else? Oh yeah, painted this. Everything I do is patina style. So I'm not after perfection. I'm trying to make the truck look like it's still got life left in it. I like to do things myself if I can. I don't have a spray booth. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a body man. I just make do with what I have. I painted the grill, painted the headlight bezels, put new headlights in, headlight adjusters on the truck. I was trying to think of all the things we have done. I was in the middle of, well, I was still working on the truck, and then my mother-in-law had a massive heart attack. Stroke. So we've been dealing with that situation. I painted the rims. I put Corvette band beauty rings on instead of the little thin ones. I like those better. Put some better center caps on. But I'm not gonna, I have a suspicion I'm gonna be putting I'm gonna be putting on some American Racing torque thrust wheels, 20-inch. I'm gonna lower the truck. Check out my friend, like I said, GM1038 on YouTube, and he will he's going to be getting this truck really soon, and he's going to lower it for me, do a whole bunch of work to the truck, and basically I do the same thing every time I get a truck. I bought this truck. I know it looks rough, but it had tin all over it. My wife and I, Mrs. PIB, we took all the tin off, cleaned the windows with car wax and really fine steel wool. I mean, you can see, I mean, it's really nice. Oh yeah, I gotta fix my oh dang, temperature gauge here. It doesn't work. Everything else works, appears to be, except for the clock. I mean, the second hand it does pretty good, but it doesn't. I'm trying to knock this spider down. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this. I think I'm going to rattle can the carpet black whenever I get back on this truck. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. The seat is in good shape. My wife steam cleaned it. I was talking the other day. Oh, I think I have some door edge guard I might put on here. I got to buy all this new, the molding that goes along through here for 85, the stick-on 3M tape molding like I put on the 84 truck I have left turn built. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit, feel like have you ever felt like you're like a minute behind on everything? I've been feeling that way for a few days, and it's just because my wife and I are both tired. She's in there talking to insurance people about her mother's situation going on. I said, well, I'm going to start this truck while I'm in between storms, and it looks like it might be getting dark again, so I'm not going to waste too much time. But as you can see, the spider webs, I put a 4x4 air dam on here because it sticks down lower than a two-wheel drive. And I think once the truck gets lowered, I'm going to have Brian, GM1038, his name's Brian, I'm going to have him lower it. I'm going to get me some wheels. I got me some chrome tips for the exhaust. I basically do the same thing. Every year seems like I have a different truck or two. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 trucks new to the channel, and a lot of times these get gone. You know, somebody will ask me, is it for sale or something? I don't ever advertise on Marketplace or nothing. I just, people just say, is it for sale? And either it is or it ain't. And either you like the price or you don't. Like I said, I give too much for this truck. I know I did, but there's no rust in the truck. I've showed you up and under it before in my other videos. And anytime somebody's interested in one of my trucks, I always tell them to watch the videos. I'll show you what all's been done. I'm not trying to hide anything. I wouldn't deceive anybody for nothing. I'm just telling you how I am. Anyway, it's got brand new exhaust on it. What I was going to say was, what was I? Oh, I was talking the other day about if you're looking for a project truck or car, whatever you're into. For me, because sometimes I start a conversation and then I don't finish what I was talking about because I see something else or something like that spider web, you know, that's already distracted me again. But that's just me. I was going to tell you, if you get an opportunity to whatever you're into, for me, because my wife and I are on fixed income. We're retired. I'm 66, so we're retired. So we're kind of into this stuff right here. Square bodies, Chevy, GMCs. Not that there's anything wrong with Ford or Dodge or Plymouth or Pontiac or nothing. I love them all. But if you're thinking about doing something like this, getting into the car hobby, truck hobby, whatever you happen to be into at the time, what I was going to say was, and I don't know if I explained this very well in the video the other day or whenever I posted it, but do your research. Like for instance, if you're going to buy a square body truck, do your research. See how many, or you're going to buy a car, do your research, see how many vendors there are that sell parts for something that you're thinking about buying or something that you just bought. Hopefully you're thinking about buying it, you haven't bought it yet, because if there's not many vendors, you're going to pay for whatever they price something at, even if they, hopefully they'll have it. Yeah, like I said the other day, I have a friend that's got a 64 Mercury Marauder, and he has trouble finding parts for it. It's a beautiful car. I love those cars. When I was growing up, they was everywhere, but there's not many vendors, and there's not any at the junkyards here in East Tennessee. There's just not. So do your research. That's the reason my wife and I would be doing this if I was loaded with money, if I was rich. I think I said the other day, if I was Donald Trump or somebody rich like that, I'd still be doing the same thing. Messing with square bodies, just because that's what I've always, done. I went from 62 Chevys to 55 through 59 Chevy and GMC trucks, and then I got into square bodies. Well, I had 67 through 72 Chevy GMC trucks. I had a bunch of them. Then I got out of that and just got into square bodies. Now the reason I'm into square bodies, and maybe you might want to consider it, is because you can accidentally, sometimes on a really good day, you might find one at the junkyard that's got a part or two that you might be needing. A 64 Mercury Marauder, you're not going to find nothing at the junkyard like that. I'm using that for an example. 64 Pontiac GTO, you're not going to find one at the junkyard. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're on a budget like me, if you have plenty of money, just go ahead and get out of this video. This video is not for you. But if you're like me and you're on a budget, you're trying to pay bills, make house insurance, car and truck insurance. My wife was just telling me a while ago, we got some insurance due. I try not to listen. But seriously, I mean, what's that old saying? Choose your battles, choose your enemy wisely, or not an enemy, that's poor choice, but make sure that you're able to get parts. You might go to the junkyard. That's what my wife and I like to do. We don't go in the summertime because of ticks and snakes and all this other stuff. Your hospital bill might be bigger than your wallet. But anyway, square bodies. You only have, like I said the other day, you've only got, if you choose a truck like this, you've only got one seat to upholster. You've only got one, bit of a carpet. You don't have the back seat part to have to do. This is a dash cover on here. It's not, I wish it had been done a little bit better, but this is it, a dash cover. I mean, You can find stuff like this. I'm sure the dash on this thing up underneath is probably cracked pretty bad. It's the reason somebody put a plastic dash cover on it, and it's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not into perfection, but anyway, that's my point though. You can buy stuff on Marketplace. Sometimes people have bought one or sold their truck and they don't need a dash cover no more. Sometimes you get some pretty good deals, but you can find parts for something like this. And the other thing I was going to tell you the other day that I don't think I mentioned, I don't think I did, is get something that you're interested in. Like if you're going to get a square body, and especially if you have a family or wife or whatever, get the best one that you can afford. Get the best one you can afford. Like this one has air. You know, it's got power steering, it's got power brakes, it's got tilt, AM, FM radio, which doesn't work, but I mean, it is there. And always think in the back of your mind, I mean, if your wife is in here, she's probably, not all wives, I'm just saying sometimes, she might want an air conditioner. You might want an automatic instead of a 3-speed or 4-speed. Just something to think about. I mean, do you want to shift all the time? I see people, I've never done it. I have no plans to do it. But some people go on power tours, road trips, whatever. You want to be shifting a 3-speed or 4-speed, 5-speed, all over the place. It's fun at first, but at my age, at 66, I mean, my knees are bad, and I'm telling you right now, I'd get tired of that, about 5 miles down the road, more than likely. And I'm just talking to let this thing run. Just get the best one you can afford, one that will suit you. And if you're into square bodies or OBS trucks or NBS trucks, whatever, and you think that you'd like to have that for your hobby, say like even a Mustang. If you want a Ford Mustang, whatever year, get the best one you can afford. GT or a LX, coupe, whatever. I had a Mustang, 86, called them 4i, 86 Mustang coupe, and I wished I'd have kept that car. It was a 2.3 automatic, had AC. It was a nice car, and boy, it was good on gas. And I had it dressed up, with the V8 wheels on it, factory. It's a 4-cylinder, and I had dual exhaust put on it, and chrome tips and all. And every time I'd turn the car off, especially at parts stores, they'd say, what size V8 you got in there? And I'd say, I don't. It's a 4-cylinder, and people wouldn't believe me until I popped the hood. But I didn't. My point is, whatever you're into, car or truck, get the best one you can afford. Me on this channel, if you watch my channel any length of time, I normally get one. I'm attracted to stuff nobody else wants. This truck that I have now is very unusual for me to have because there's no rust. There's a little bit on the, I'll take that back. There's a little bit on the wheel well where the battery sits. And that's common for these trucks. I'm not going to crawl up under there, but I mean, it's somewhere down in here. I crawled up and under the truck one day and I showed everything. Whoever done the exhaust work too done a great job. It looks really nice. Anyway, get the best one you can afford. Even if you can't work on it for a few months, or you piddle with it now and again, just get the best one that you can afford to get, because in my opinion, and I think everybody else is pretty much would agree with me, these trucks are going up in value. I always thought in my head that, like 55, 56, 57 Chevys, 58, I always thought that they would start going down in price because of the generation, of the, folks like me. Like I said, I'm 66, people that's in their 70s, 80s, whatever. They grew up with 55, 56, 7 Chevys, Fords, whatever. And I always thought, like 55 Chevys would kind of, the prices start dropping as the generation that, that people grew up with seeing and wanting all their lives, but couldn't afford one, finally got one. But no, they're still way up there in value. So my suggestion is get one you can afford. And in my opinion, I mean, I've got a lot of money in this, but if I hang on to this for a while, I mean, I'm probably going to get my money back or close to it. I mean, and I enjoy playing with them. That's another thing. Make sure it's something you enjoy playing with. Please don't get one if, like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a body band. I'm not good at anything. But I know I have enough sense to know that if you're going to buy something and you're going to do all this and do all that, and you start taking it apart, and I'm going to say you're doing things backwards. You start taking it apart and you get it off the frame and blah blah blah. Then you start looking for parts, be it Ford, Dodge, whatever. Then you go, oh my goodness, they don't make this part. Oh my goodness, that's $1,500 for that, whatever it is. And then it just sits there. And then the next thing you know, and I see it on Marketplace a lot, people's got it, well, it's disassembled. This is what it looked like when I, started on it. This is what it looks like now. It's all in pieces. You buy it, you put it together. Well, I mean, it's easy. I mean, even a dummy like me can get a bunch of wrenches and sockets and start taking stuff apart, and there you go. But don't do nothing until you're absolutely ready to get into it. Make sure you got all your parts bought. Make sure that they even make the parts. That's why I'm into this, because I know they make parts for this stuff. And it's good if you find a vehicle that's got some rust in it. It's good that you find someone that does good quality welding. I'm referring to Tim Dixon at Gas X Chop Shop. Him and I have been friends for years. He does excellent work on anything I bring to him. Yeah, you got to pay for it. I mean, yeah, we've been friends for years and years, but still, I mean, you got to pay for it. I mean, he's making a living too. So, I mean, there's something else to think about. That's the reason I say this truck's kind of unusual. It doesn't have any rust. And that's the reason I bought it, and that's the reason I gave too much for it. I don't know how long. Oh my goodness, I've been talking almost 28 minutes, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to help you guys out, and another thing people ask me, why is your channel called Primer Is Best? Well, back in the day, everything I had that I fooled with was primered. I'd primer it. I had a 62 Impala Super Sport 327 4-speed factory. Took 5 Impalas to make that one car. But I wanted it because it's a 327 factory 4-speed car. And it was factory black. Of course, I just rattle canned it, painted it rattle can black. Primered black. My 62 Bel Air wagon primered black. And so, everything I had, not everything, but a lot of things I had was primered. So, there you go. There's your question answered, best I can. But, like I said, do your research. And another thing, real quick, and I'm going to hush, I promise, but go to Make 'em Auctions, go to, I don't know, Barrett Jackson on YouTube or wherever you're at, I don't know, and look and see what's selling. You can kind of check the economy that way too. See how the economy's doing here. If things are going really high, the economy must be pretty good, pretty healthy. If things are going a little bit cheaper than what you've normally seen them in the past, chances are we're in a recession or inflation or whatever the heck's going on that particular week. But anyway, I'm just trying to help folks out. I mean, like I said, be it an OBS truck, a square body, 67 through 72, 55 through 59, 60 through 60, 6? I've never had one of them. I always wanted one, but I have never run across one I could afford. But, I mean, just get the very best that you can afford. Now, on this channel, like I said, I normally get stuff nobody else wants. I had a 57 Chevy truck that was just laying in the field in pieces. But I have some good friends. I'm really fortunate where I live here in East Tennessee that's a lot smarter than I am. And for some reason, they act like they like me. And, you know, they'll build it. You know, as long as you throwing money, I mean, you can... No, seriously, I have some really good friends. I'm blessed beyond measure with a good wife and good friends too. But check out folks in your area that does welding. Check out folks that does paint and body if you're wanting something perfect. If you're like me and you're just in the patina style, I mean, I'm going to repaint. Well, dang, it's hot. I'm going to repaint this stuff. And let me turn this off, because I just remembered my temperature gauge don't work. But just get the very best that you can get, and that you can afford. I don't know what this guy's doing, but anyway, get the very best you can afford, and you won't regret it. But if you're like me, like I said, I'm really blessed. Anything I need fixed, mechanical, body, welded, I've got friends that can do that, and I've known them for years. You might want to make friends with somebody that's a good welder, fabricator, whatever. Tim Dixon's the best. And GM 1038 Brian, he's an excellent mechanic. Him and his dad Charlie. They've put motors in stuff for me. They've done everything. Built motor. I can't tell you all the things that they've done for me. And like I said, I'm really blessed to have good friends like that. So just do your due diligence and make sure that it's a vehicle you're going to like. Make sure if you have a... Dang, I just ran into my mirror. Anyway, if you have a spouse, make sure your wife's good with it. I mean, you know, some people like to play golf. Some people like to go hunting. Some people like to go fishing. Me, myself, I mean, I like fooling around stuff like this. Keeps you at home. You can see what you're putting money into. You know, I know people pay money to go play golf. That's great. I'm proud for them. Play tennis, whatever. I don't know. But as for me, I mean, I can kind of see where I'm throwing my money at. And if times get... That's the thing with me. Like I said, remember, I'm on limited income. If times get rough, even if the economy takes a nosedive, if I'm able to hang on to this stuff, the economy will bounce back sooner or later. And the truck will be worth more. It's a good investment if you have the right vehicle. Just look on Marketplace, look on eBay Motors. I mean, just look around some of these places that's got maybe even a Craigslist or something. See what stuff's selling for. And just because, this is something else I need to tell you if you didn't know. Just because somebody has a truck like this priced for $30,000 and you see it on Facebook Marketplace, you know, I mean, it's still on Facebook Marketplace. It's not sold. It's still sitting there. Why is that? Because it's priced too high. Find some place that's, you know, keep looking, scrolling down, whatever you do, and you know, find a truck that's kind of similar, maybe, or a car that's what you're interested in, and you know, see what they're actually going for. What did this one sell for? You know, just mark it or as a favorite or whatever. I mean, I try to, like I said, I on my channel, if I break even, I've considered that I've done good. Sometimes I take a little loss, but look how much fun I've had. And I'm just trying to help you guys out. Some of y'all that's thinking about, well, hey, I'd like to get this, you know, or you know, just make sure there's plenty of parts. Make sure there's vendors. Don't take it apart until you're absolutely got every part that you need and then some. Sometimes the aftermarket parts don't fit. I'm not going to mention names, but somebody's having trouble getting truck fenders that will fit for a GMC. So, I mean, aftermarket, yeah, you know, they stamp them out every day, but that don't mean they're going to fit. So, I don't know. There's a whole lot of things, you know. I try to be a stand-up good guy and tell y'all everything, and I try to be different on my videos. I could have walked around the truck and talked about it and put it back up, but you know, I try to help folks, and I hope y'all don't mind listening to me. I mean, I don't know. So I talk too much, but I thank you for listening. Truly, I do. You're watching Primer at his best. If you have any questions or something, please let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, on this stuff here, if you can get the best, if you're going to get a square body or 67 whatever, GMC whatever, try to get the best one you can. Consider your spouse, consider your children. You know, you might want a Blazer, you might want a GMC Jimmy. I mean, I don't know, you might want to, I don't know what your taste is. I mean, I got some friends that are really good friends that's into Fords and Mercuries. I mean, they wouldn't even let me pull this in the driveway. Just kidding. But truly, I mean, you know, and if you get something and you're interested in it, don't start taking it apart, telling all your friends at your work or your family members, hey, I got this 1953 Mercury, and I'm fixing to start doing big things with it. You show pictures of the fenders and everything taken off, and there they lay for years and years and years. You can't find the bolts, you know, stuff's missing, and next thing you know, it's for sale on Marketplace for half or less than what you get for it, because, you know, it's not together. And people that mess with that kind of stuff know what kind of dealings you're going to get into picking up someone else's project. I have a friend right now that is going through the same thing, and he's he's kind of sick of it. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. You're watching Primer at his best on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or need some help from a big dummy like me, you must be desperate. But let me know. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. If I break even, I consider myself doing good. You know, sometimes I make a little, sometimes I don't. It just all depends. And especially if I see something else that I want, I'll let something go, you know, a little cheaper, because, hey, I know where there's something else that I haven't never played with before that I want. I'm also on Instagram, Primer at his best, Facebook, Primer at his best. Got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget, and I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1. I know my channel's small, but I deal with a lot of old trucks, square bodies here the last several years, and I kind of know a little bit. Not much, just a little, enough to get me in trouble. But they're a good investment if you're thinking about getting one. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. Like I said, just get the best one you can. Some people like the plain Jane, like Custom Deluxe, and, you know, some people like Silverado, especially if they have a spouse. So, I mean, I'm hoping to get this truck. If you'll subscribe, I'm hoping soon I can get back on this truck and we can do some painting, you know, patina style, lower it down, put some wheels and tires on it, and I don't know what I'll do at these truck rallies, but there'll be something else come along as soon, you know. There's always something else out there. Anyway, if you have an old car or an old truck that you'd like me to put on my YouTube channel for free, I'm trying to keep the channel alive, Primer at his best, because I haven't been putting many videos up lately, because, like I said in the beginning of the video, my mother-in-law had a massive stroke, so she's in a nursing home. So we're trying to, it's a long story, I'm not going to get into it, but if you would send me a video of your car or truck, I don't care what condition, I don't care what make or model, I enjoy looking at them. Believe me, guys, I love them all, but I have to go on what's in my pocketbook. If you want to send me a video 2 or 3 minutes long, you can send me a video to primerathisbest@comcast.net, or Facebook Messenger Primer at his best, or Instagram Messenger Primer at his best. Just send me a video of what you're working on, car or truck, what you just done, what you're fixing to do, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It can be just as ugly, I mean ugly. It doesn't matter. I'll be happy to put it on my YouTube channel for free. Doesn't cost you nothing. You can show your family and friends. And as I've been saying the last few videos, your ex-husband, your ex-wife, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, hey, I'm over you, I moved on, and now I'm into square bodies. And I love it. Send me a video that way. and I'll post it. I'll let you know when I post it so you can show your family and friends, and I put them on in the order that I receive them. So if you don't see it for a few days, please be patient. I will put it on. Don't forget, no music, no foul language, please. I can't put it on YouTube. YouTube frowns on that, and they won't let me put it on. I've got it checked. There's a little box somewhere on YouTube. Check that, kids, anybody can watch this, kids, whatever. I don't have foul language. I don't have copyrighted music. That gets me in trouble. That's happened a couple times by mistake. So, yeah, just send me a video and I'll stick it on there for you. It'll be a lot of fun, and I would enjoy seeing what you have. You see what I have. If you watch my channel long enough, you know all the square bodies I have. I have two more, a 78 and a 84. They all have names. This is Tyler. If you're new to the channel, Tyler. I got two in the backyard, Left Turn Bill and Billy James. They all have names. They're all part of the family. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's quite long, but sometimes I get started on a topic or somebody's asked me a question, and I try to be helpful. And I feel like y'all's family if you're on this channel anyway. Y'all's part of my family. And and one more thing, then I'll shut up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. God bless you. Thank you for all the prayers and comments and well wishes, and for sending me videos of your rides to keep this channel alive. There's not every day I can come out here and do this. I can't believe I had a few moments to do this today. It's really unusual because normally we're at the nursing home the whole time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and Mrs. PIB's heart. It's her mother, and my wife kind of, we want to make sure we have all the I's dotted, T's crossed. I mean, there's, you don't want to have no regrets, do you? So you want to do the very best that you can with anything that you do. So I'm going to hush. I know y'all's ears must be bleeding because I talk so much, but I do appreciate y'all hanging around. If you've stuck this long, thank you. God bless each and every one of y'all. I hope I see some of y'all's rides, and if you've made improvements on your rides since the last video, send me another video. I'd like to see what you've done because I miss playing with mine. So, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Hope y'all's having a blessed day today. I know this video is quite long, but I just felt like I was trying to help somebody. God bless y'all. Catch you in the next one. I'll see y'all later.